Well, all right. We can go ahead and get started today with today's live reading of Sakamoto Days. Bryson, good to see you. Hopefully your day has been swell. Let's go ahead and move on with Volume 4, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of Sakamoto Days. I've been really looking forward to reading today's volume, and hold on, let me see. Let me just make sure. I want to make sure that we're good, like, connection-wise, because I don't want anything to happen, so let me exit out of that. Let me exit out of that. Close down everything that I need to. Yes, I want to make sure that we are good all around. There it is. There it is. I knew it was going to creep up. I knew it was going to creep up. See, ever since we had that storm yesterday, the aftermath of it had my stuff acting just a little bit spotty after the storm was over. So I'm keeping an eye on it, but at the same time, I want to make sure we're good. Snow, good to see you as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started with Volume 4 of Sakamoto Days, Quiet on the Train. Now, the chapters we're going to be going through today are chapters 26 all the way down to 34. So let's get started with 26, because last we left off, both Sakamoto and Shin made their way into the lab in order to rescue Lu, who was kidnapped by a bunch of people commissioned by a whole bunch of assassins who have taken over the lab, and they wanted Shin. There's a lot of stuff went on, and there's multiple floors, each run by a head member of this entire group that has taken over the lab, and this is also the lab where Shin got his telepathic abilities, thanks to a man named Asakura, who Lu is with right now, and they're on the lower floor trying to make their way up, while Sakamoto and Shin have taken out the first Basement 4 boss, who is in charge of Basement Floor 1, and they gotta make their way all the way down in order to get to Lu, but I have a feeling with the boss and, Seba, or Sebas, no, it's not Segas, or I forget his name, the dude with that invisibility suit, I imagine he's going to show up at some point while Sakamoto and company are going through this whole entire ordeal. Kitty, is good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so let's get started with Days 26 Order. Basement Floor 1. And this is Shin talking to Sakamoto.
According to the guys from the lab, Lu is probably being held in a cell on basement floor.
Let's hurry. Notice how Sakamoto pretty much just talks to Shin using his thoughts, rather than him outwardly saying anything, unless it's towards his daughter and wife. But he audibly, or unless he's taken on an opponent he considers serious. This is the only time he usually just talks to Shin telepathically, so he doesn't have to, actually physically talk. Let's hurry. And then we see one of the scientists going, "Be on your toes! The deeper underground you go in this facility, the more traps there are."
Got it. You know, that battle back there reaffirmed for me that you're the ultimate fighter, Mr. Sakamoto.
Where'd that come from?
That organization you were in, before the Order. Were the other members all as tough as you?
Well, there were all sorts. Say 10 of you took on one Order member. You'd all be exterminated in 6 seconds.
Less than 1 second each? Are they really that good? That Nagumo dude didn't seem that amazing.
If you ever encounter the Order, play dead. Play dead. Face up.
Don't make fun of me!
And then, as Sakamoto is running, a hole opens up just out of the ground, and he falls through.
Ah! Mr. Sakamoto!
And then we're all the way down at the bottom floor. Basement 5. Underground shipping corridor. And then we get the deer dude. I forget his name. we get the deer guy who's in charge as he goes, how annoying. After we seized the lab and everything was going smoothly. However, my excellent team has my back. Right, Mr. Onigahara? Mr. Takemido? Yes, boss. Now then. Oh, look! Didn't I tell you, Osaragi? Yo! Osaragi and Shishiba, you know, the two members of the Order that showed up. Bruh, they're already at the basement floor. They just arrived. I probably shouldn't doubt the speed of people who are from the Order of Assassins, but Osaragi and Shishiba are already at the bottom floor of this facility, waiting for the deer guy. And they've already killed a whole bunch of his henchmen. Like the ones that are in the suits with the reflective masks and everything. They have already killed a whole bunch of his henchmen. All of a sudden, they're already dead. Oh, look. Didn't I tell you, Saragi? 3 big fishies. That little stir we raised here on basement 5 worked. A reindeer. The Order. What do the association's lapdogs want with us? They should teach you better manners. Basement 4 boss Onigahara, and basement 3 boss Takamido. Don't get angry. We were just having a little fun. This place is like a maze. We got lost. Our apologies. Allow us to escort you to the exit. Actually, we are looking for Mr. X. If they are here, we want to kill them. The Master isn't here. The Master is extremely busy. The lab is my own independent project. Well, that isn't important. You violated JAA policies against manufacturing illegal weapons and using hostages for extortion. Sorry, but you have to die. This is unacceptable. How can I compel you to leave? Wait, before we go on, can I use your bathroom? Boss! Boss! Can I kill this guy? And this is Onigahara, the dude with the mask that I talked about in the last volume. He's the one with the swept over hair, but he also has the big face mask. And he's right in front of Shishiba going, can I kill this guy? Whoa, so close. And Onigahara and Takamido are already trying to surround Shishiba. Do as you please, Mr. Onigahara and Mr. Takamido. And then all of a sudden, from the back of this guy's coat is a whole bunch of appendages just comes out. Like he's Dr. Octopus or something, or he's like Spider-Man from the MCU, and he's got like limbs that pop out of the mechanical looking limbs that pop out of the back of his coat. Then Osaragi chimes in. Are you done with these people, Mr. Shishiba? Ah, Osaragi. Wait. Oh. Oh. Woo. Woo. In a double spread panel, she beheads the both of these bosses with a construction buzzsaw, like a literal handheld. You know the kind that you just use to, chop up wood, like a handheld buzzsaw. She cuts both of their heads off. And mind you, this isn't like some supernatural type series where they're just going to be able to reattach their heads or anything. No, this heads off, you're dead. She killed the both of them. Oh, not yet? No, I wanted to move so you wouldn't splatter me. Never mind. And he just has blood all over his face because of Osaragi. This woman used a whole construction buzzsaw to cut these people's heads off. Well, so much for basement floor 4 and 3. So we really only have one more boss to go. Wow! I thought we were gonna get like chapters dedicated to these bosses and what they were capable of doing. Now I'll never know what Oni Takamito could do. That would be a circular saw. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you. I just call it buzzsaw all the time, but I would like to prefer it by its official name. Thank you very much. But yeah, Osaragi just basically cut these dudes' heads off with a circular saw. Also, if you guys want to see what I'm reading, either go to Viz, like viz.com/Shonen Jump/Sakamoto Days chapter 26, or just look up Sakamoto Days chapter 26, and I'm pretty sure there'll be a bevy of different places to where you can read that from as well, if you guys want to follow along with me. But yeah, Osaragi just cuts off these dudes' heads instantly.
Oh, not yet?
No, I wanted to move so you wouldn't splatter me. Never mind.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm not angry. That's why I wore a cheap suit.
But you already had blood on you.
You have a hard time making friends, don't you? And then the deer dude is just standing there. And he's trembling. As Osaragi and Shishiba are standing over the severed heads of two of the very people that just came down the stairs with him in the beginning of this chapter. Why? Don't you have any regard for human life? What did they ever do to you? Huh? And then he takes off his mask, his reindeer mask. All those poor souls you've slaughtered with no regard. They all could have had families and friends. Don't you care about other people's feelings? Oh, the poor, poor souls. I'd better exterminate you. And as he takes his mask off and he's still crying, mind you, the tears were coming through the mask. So I'm like, how tight is this mask on your face, first of all? And he also starts undoing the stitching that goes across his entire arm. He starts to undo it and rip it up. Whoa. Those who have no respect for the sanctity of human life have no right to call themselves assassins. And apparently this hand that the reindeer dude had, it was just filled with jagged blades inside. Like it was a fake arm, like it was a prosthesis, and he takes it off and a whole bunch of jagged blades just come out of the stump.
Don't they kill lots of people too?
The double standard is creepy. Die. All of my axe. And it shows the reindeer dude, whose name still escapes me, he slashes Shishiba across the chest and dashes past him before Shishiba can react. Mind you, Shishiba is a member of the Order, and they're both extremely strong, both him and Osaragi. But he gets slashed across the chest, and he just looks back at the reindeer dude like, really? But he's not reacting with utter shock, though, because normally in manga, when a person gets surprised by something, you would either get like an exclamation point in the corner of the screen in the corner of the panel around the person who is surprised, or you get a speech bubble that is just nothing but exclamation points in it. This dude doesn't have any of it. All of my acts are forbidden by the master. My acts of extermination serve a purpose and are therefore permitted. Is that so? And Shishiba, without skipping a beat, takes the hammer he was holding, using the edge that and I don't know the exact name of what you would call it on a hammer. Sure, I know the solid part, but the part that you use in order to pry up nails, he takes that part and goes, is that so? And proceeds to forcibly twist this man's head 180 degrees. Like, he just breaks his neck and spins his head all the way around. There, all done.
Are you okay, Mr. Shishiba?
Don't be stupid. I was just sizing him up. In baseball, you don't swing at the first pitch, right? And reindeer dude gets up and snacks his neck back into place. What now? So sorry. I have an artificial spine, see? And before this dude can do anything, the still falling Sakamoto lands directly on top of him. How heavy is Sakamoto for him to not only land on top of the reindeer guy, but also crater the ground on the impact of it? He hits the dude so hard he spits up blood, and this is just Sakamoto just falling on top of him. And he's shocked, and then it cuts to Shishiba. Whoa. Hello, long time no see. Shishiba, where am I? Next chapter hits June 13th, but that's the end of chapter 26. That's the claw. I had a feeling that it was called the claw, but I didn't think it was like, there's no way this name for a hammer is just that obvious. The claw of the hammer. I've heard it before, but I've never actually used it in a sentence, so you'll have to forgive me if I didn't know that off the top of my head. I've never literally talked about hammers in regards to that anyway, so that was the first time. So, yeah, I'm learning new stuff. Circular saw, which I'm pretty sure is the name that I see in tons of video games I played with circular saws as weapons, from Dead Rising to other games, and I'm pretty sure the claw of the hammer has been mentioned. I've just never said it before. But yeah, now I know. That was the end of chapter 26. Onwards to chapter 27. Ooh, we get a color page with Sakamoto, Shishiba, Osaragi, the reindeer dude, with Shin traveling and looking for both Lu and Sakamoto. And we have Lu with Asakura, who's just on her floor, and she's beating up everyone she comes across. Mind you, there's still another boss. I think we still have the second floor boss, and we have the dude that can turn invisible. We still have him, if he doesn't already count as the second boss. Second boss for Basement Floor 2. But Sakamoto Days 27. Sakamoto's versus the lab. Oh, and it shows and then we have this beautiful color spread panel where it shows Lu, Aoi, Hana, Sakamoto, Shin, Heisuke, Nagumo, Boiled, and Onigumo. Oniguro, yeah, Oniguro and Pisuke. I hope I got all their names right. I think they did. But Sakamoto's here with the other members of the order. You look well, Mr. S. Long time no see, Shishiba. How is everyone? And now we have, since we don't have Shin here, Sakamoto's actually speaking because no one else here is telepathic. How is everyone? Oh, we are all fine. This is Osaragi. She's new. You haven't met, I think. And then Osaragi's just looking at him, and in her mind, she's having thoughts like Robin, like, he's like a teddy bear. Comparing Sakamoto to a living teddy bear. Now, we get back to the reindeer dude. Sakamoto, so you're the legendary assassin. The only one ever to injure the only one ever to injure X. What's he talking about? Who's that? The boss of the group occupying the lab. So, you know X? I don't know why you're here, but now I must kill you as quickly as possible and present you to the master. And this dude starts undoing more of the stitches that are all over his body, and he starts undoing the stitch that is across his lips. But now, I must kill you as quickly as possible and present you to the master. And then the master will praise me. And he starts laughing. Yuck. Is this guy for real? Now, if you'll excuse me. As not only does he have a whole bunch of blades just embedded on his arm, on one arm, but in his other arm, I guess he took that off as well. I'm wondering how he did that. In his other arm, he has like a full-on automatic rifle on the other stump of his arm, and he has what looks to be... Wait, is that a gun in his mouth, or is that a knife? Is that a gun in his mouth? Like it's a gun barrel. Is that a gun barrel in his mouth? Now, if you'll excuse me. He looks tough. A weapon man. What's up, Osaragi? And Osaragi is still hung up on the fact that Sakamoto, to her, looks like a big old teddy bear. Basement 3 manufacturing area.
One more floor until Lou. I gotta get her quickly. I got to get her quickly so we can meet back up with Mr. Sakamoto. We don't want to be late for dinner.
And then an energy field starts to crackle around this individual, and it's the invisible guy again, whose name still escapes me. Is his name Seba? Seba? I want to say Seba. I forget it. But he goes invisible, and Shin pays attention as he's running in one direction, and he immediately dashes away before someone can land a solid hit on him.
It's you, invisible bastard.
Shoot, it's easier when they don't notice. Guess I'll have to work for this one.
Lou better be safe.
Who knows if she is? I just follow orders. There's a bonus for killing you. Wait, or was it to bring you in alive? Well, whatever.
Sorry, but I need you out of my way. I don't have time to help you earn extra pocket money.
I want to save 20 million yen before retirement age. But I hate working overtime. Let's get this done by the end of the workday. Him and Nanami would get along just fine. And then he goes invisible.
He's gone.
This will be over in a flash.
There!
And as Shin spins around in order to protect himself, he gets hit, but at the same time, he also gets slashed in his arms. He gets hit physically by something, and while he's reeling and being sent backwards, he also gets slashed in the arms again.
Drat! I can't,
slashed in the arms at the same time.
Drat! I can locate him by reading his thoughts, but it's no use if I don't know how he'll attack.
And then he gets hit in the back.
Now what?
But I also don't like clocking out early, so let's stretch this out until quitting time. And then it cuts to Sakamoto, who's just dodging away from the reindeer dude. We might as well call him the weapon man now. And from this dude's gun barrel is a whole bunch of grappling hooks that come out of the barrel. Like, what is this? What is this weapon? What is this weapon? And these little grappling hooks grab onto Sakamoto. Is he even human? And they latch onto him, and the dude opens his mouth. Is this a laser? This is a laser barrel. What is this guy? The barrel in his mouth starts to light up, and then it shoots a thin beam towards Sakamoto, who dodges out of the way. Shishiba, we've got business to attend to, so we'll leave this one to you. Okay, say hi to the gang. And see and he's unfazed by the fact that Shishiba and Osaragi are not staying behind. He's chill. He's all like, huh? You're over there? We can't stay. All right, say hi to everybody. I love Sakamoto's deadpan delivery of everything. Okay, say hi to the gang. And Weapon Man tries to hit Sakamoto. There's a crash. And then we cut back to Shishiba and Osaragi.
You're sure it's okay to leave the teddy? I mean, to leave Mr. Sakamoto?
Yeah, come on. I thought it's this way.
Honestly, that teddy bear didn't seem very tough. He's gonna get killed. Poor thing.
Yeah, honestly, that crazy patched up Chuck is pretty good. He's probably challenging found out to shape Mr. Sakamoto, but for some reason, I've never been able to imagine that dude dying. That says something. For some reason, I've never been able to imagine that dude dying. And Sakamoto, after getting hit by the reindeer dude, and mind you, he gets hit by the arm with the blades, he gets up with barely anything lasting on him, and he just dusts himself off. Then we get back to the weapons dude. All you do is dodge. It's pathetic. Can you just let me kill you already? My friend cares about this lab. We want you and your crew to get out.
Look at it from a big picture perspective. Our takeover will enlighten the future of the assassin world. Your friends and their interests are of no consequence.
I don't know what you mean, but if you don't care about the people around you, you won't achieve anything.
And then Sakamoto, standing there, just starts to take a pen out of his apron. He's still, mind you, he's still wearing his apron, his work apron from his shop. He's still wearing it, and he just starts to take a pen out of the chest pocket.
If you don't care about the people around you, you won't achieve anything.
You think you're so smart. Those special friends of yours have probably already been killed by my men.
I'm not worried.
As he said, woo! As Sakamoto says this, he is already in front of this dude and jams the pen into his barrel, his mouth laser barrel. And when it jams in there, it blows up directly in his head. You see the explosion go out of his ears, his mouth, his eyes. Mind you, his head doesn't explode, but the explosion does hurt him from the inside. There's not many people I know that can actually tank an explosion. Seba, thank you. I knew it was Seba. It felt Seba, but then I thought, I hope it's not Sebas, because the only Sebas I can think of is from Overlord. But yes, it's Seba. Seba, thank you. But he jams the pen in this dude's mouth, and it blows up the laser inside of his head.
My staff's tougher than you think.
I hate people who talk back, almost as much as I hate Christmas, Taro Sakamoto.
Well, I hate guys like you who talk too much.
And then it cuts back to Shin versus Seba. This clairvoyance thing is a real pain. You keep dodging at the last second. You're way more of a pain with that invisibility thing. And Shin looks over and he sees the shadow of a bird. Is this Pisuke? Is this Pisuke looking for them? Because remember, Heisuke said that he was going to find Sakamoto and everyone else for Hana. Is this Pisuke? But then Shin notices a shadow, and he comes to the realization, and then Seba starts to go invisible again. Well, anyway, it's almost quitting time. Time to wrap up. And in an instant, Shin immediately gets stabbed directly into his chest. And I want to say it's like a little bit lower from where his heart would be. But when that happens, he starts to fall over. And when he does, he takes some blood and smears it onto Sebas's invisibility suit. Ew, you got blood all over me. Now he won't miss. Huh? What are you talking about? Ooh! And ooh! I thought it was just Pisuke, but as soon as Shin says, now he won't miss, 2 shots come flying in and rebound off the ground, clipping straight through Seba's shoulder and a part of his midsection, and they go rebounding off the ground, much to Sebas's shock. Not Sebas's, because that would be Sebas, but Seba's shock. Much to Seba's shock, he stops going invisible because he's been disrupted, and he's shocked that he's actually been fired on, because the person who shot him was Heisuke! Pisuke, look, yo, an invisible man. The world sure is full of interesting people. And he's there, combat ready with his rifle, and Pisuke! Boo! Nice timing, Heisuke. And that's the end of chapter 27. Onwards to chapter 28. Heisuke. Nice. Day is 28. Top notch. Pisuke, look, yo, an invisible guy. The world sure has some interesting folks. A sniper? What a pain. Heisuke, nice timing. Nice timing? Nice timing. And he's just getting
his mind is being bombarded with positive thoughts of him being praised.
As usual, your thoughts are complete gibberish.
What are you doing? We came to rescue you.
Boo! Right, he's a moron.
And then Seba has hidden away around the corner. What a weirdo. Whoever heard of a sniper who wants to stand out? As long as I know where he is, I can steer clear.
You sure that's a good spot?
As Heisuke fires and it ricochets and it lands directly right where Seba is, much to his surprise. And it manages to clip him through his shoulder, clip him in the shoulder. The rebound just goes, hits the grating, then hits the floor, and then rebounds upwards to hit Seba directly in the shoulder.
Huh? Ricochet shots. Nice. That was top notch.
That's how I roll. It's like he's standing right in front of me. And then Seba goes invisible.
He disappeared again.
Ha! He can hide, but I can still hear where he is. You won't get away, yo! And he starts firing all over the place. And this dude's ricochet shots starts destroying a whole bunch of things around him, including the awning that Seba starts running across, because Heisuke is keeping up with him even though the dude is invisible. And while he runs and it looks like this upper platform completely gets destroyed because of Heisuke's shots, Shin goes,
"Where'd he go?"
And it shows that Seba has discarded the invisibility suit. And it looks like he throws something at Heisuke.
Huh? What?
He's in plain sight. He's a sitting duck. And as soon as he says this, he gets hit by something. And we see what it is. And he gets hit by this long piece of metal pipe that Sebas has surrounded in his invisibility suit, so that pipe would be invisible and so that Heisuke couldn't see it. And it gets embedded in the wall behind Heisuke, so he's been clipped in his shoulder, in his right shoulder, from this attack from Seba.
An invisible lead pipe?
Did you think I have supernatural powers? This suit can make anything invisible. Ugh. And as Heisuke is holding onto his rifle, Seba grabs on. Well, he doesn't grab on, but he steps on his arm while, Heisuke is still holding onto the rifle. And then Heisuke fires. And Seba looks over, and the shot comes over and hits Seba directly in his arm. Yeah. Another ricochet shot. You took my arm off. And then Heisuke loads his gun again. Give up, or your head's next.
Run, Heisuke!
Just kidding. And it shows that Seba did not lose his arm, but he made it seem like it was gone because he partially made his arm invisible, which was also holding a knife, which he also embeds into Heisuke's chest. Hitting him so hard, he actually lifts Heisuke off the ground from this stab. With just one arm? I don't get it. Why would you go to so much trouble for a friend? Friends are supposed to be fun. If they're nothing but trouble, you might as well cut them off.
I've got to do something about his invisibility.
Time for you third-rate assassins to go home. And then Seba goes invisible.
Wait, yo, my friends call my sniping top notch.
Huh?
So, I won't let them eat their words, yo!
What a pain. Just die. Shin! And this is Heisuke screaming this to Shin. And he looks at Shin, and apparently he said something to him. And then Pisuke goes flying in the air right above Heisuke. And a bullet lands directly into the chamber. Is that me? It looks like a bullet landed directly into the chamber of Heisuke's rifle. He didn't even catch it. He just let it. Not unless he grabbed it real quick and then loaded it in. And you know what? That seems more plausible because both seem plausible. I think he caught the bullet and then he loaded it into his rifle. Sebas looks surprised. Heisuke shoots, and the bullet goes ricocheting towards him, but then misses him and goes straight towards the roof. And Sebas just looks up. Seba just looks up. I don't know why I keep calling him Sebas. I got Sebas on the brain because I recently looked at an Overlord clip with Sebas. But Seba looks up. Too bad. Good try shooting in the dark, though. And it turns out this bullet, is that a smoke detector? Did he shoot a bullet into a smoke detector? He did. Yo, it was a smoke detector that went off, and it caused the sprinklers. It caused the sprinklers to go off, which means this water is going to be hitting on Seba, which allows people to see him because of the outline. Would you take it from here, Shin?
I see you nice and clear.
Crap, the water! And as that happens, Shin wraps his legs around the head of Seba and slams him like a reverse suplex, slams him in this leg lock directly onto the ground.
If I can see you, it's in the bag.
And it shows the invisibility of Seba's suit shorting out, him coughing up blood, his eyes widening over, him slowly falling unconscious. Yo! I can't move. My body hurts. So tired. Ugh. Basement 2 boss Seba defeated. Okay, so we have the mad scientist Higurashi, or Hiroguchi. Was it Hiroguchi? I want to say Hiroguchi. We have Hiroguchi on basement floor defeated. We just got basement 2 boss Seba defeated. Then we have basement 3 and 4, who were basement 3 and 4 bosses, Takamito and the other guy. Trying to remember all their names is gonna mess me up. All the bosses except for the weapons dude all at the bottom have just been flat out defeated in just this chapter and the previous one. I honestly thought we were gonna have like chapters dedicated to each boss to see how strong they are, and 2 of them literally died within the first couple of panels of like the last chapter we were on. So all the bosses except for the weapons dude is left. I can't move. My body hurts. Basement 2 boss Seba defeated.
Nice! You got the message from my thoughts! It was really hard figuring out that nonsense!
For real? And then there's an explosion behind both Shin and Heisuke.
No! An explosion?
Basement 5 underground freight passageway. It begins. Just in case the likes of the Order find us here, I rigged the lab to explode to destroy any evidence. Such a waste. There goes all of our research. But it can't be helped. This place will be gone in 20 minutes, and so will your friends. 20 minutes? 5 should be plenty. And it shows Sakamoto just cracking his knuckles, and that's the end of the chapter! Sakamoto is about to work some ribs. He is about to barbecue some ribs! Only one boss left! I'm liking this. Gotta run, catch you guys later. Thank you, kitty. I hope you enjoyed yourself while you were here. But that's the end of chapter 28. Onwards to chapter 29. Load it up, I want to see. And it begins with Sakamoto inside of the same place where Shishiba and Osaragi were after they killed all the people in basement 5. Then there's a flash in one direction and something moving towards Sakamoto. And it's the weapon dude. And he tries to hit Sakamoto. Days 29. All aboard! When I made this description for this stream, for this particular volume, I didn't realize I was saying the title of chapter 29. I just did it because it seemed the most obvious to make. I had no idea. Your body doesn't look very agile. What do you think of mine? Isn't it fabulous? I've used the lab's scientific technology to weaponize 70% of my body. You're basically a pig on a platter.
I have weapons too.
Wait, he also has weapons? Was he just testing the waters until now? And then it shows Sakamoto just fidgeting in his pocket, and he pulls out all of his weapons. A half-off sticker, an advertisement with a coupon, and a sugarcane mechanical pencil. That's all he has in his pockets. What wonderful little friends! All of that crap won't do you any good! And then Sakamoto takes the pen. Sakamoto takes the mechanical pencil. He takes a mechanical pencil and he flicks like the lead point, like the type where you can just keep pressing it and it'll just have lead coming out of it. He flicks it direct. Oh no, I don't like it because I can see that happening. He flicks it with enough force for it to go directly into his eye. Now, I don't mean like on the eye and lay across it like an eyelash. Like I mean stab into the eye injuries are so painful. This is the reason why I hate that one mission from Dead Space 2 where you have to put the needle in Isaac's eye and you got to be very careful. No. Things going into people's eyes make me extremely uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable when I saw it in John Wick. I'm uncomfortable seeing it here. I'm uncomfortable seeing it in video games. Eye injuries just are so bad. I don't like it. And it's just it's in his eye. No! I gotta move on from this because I don't want to look at it anymore. He flicked mechanical pencil lead? How dirty. And mind you, it was done with enough force where his eye is now bleeding. Well, one eye is plenty. And then all of a sudden, his other eye gets covered by the half-off sticker. The other open eye gets covered with a half-off sticker. What? What did he just... I can't see anything. And Sakamoto blitzes him and sends him flying to the other side of the room.
Dependence on weapons is a sign of a third-rate assassin.
The man took his belt off. He slapped this dude with a belt. I thought he punched him. He slapped him. He took his belt off. He took his belt off and slapped him across the room. Ain't no way. He took his belt off and slapped him across the room, and he's just holding it.
Dependence on weapons is a sign of a third-rate assassin.
Well, if you can't chase a third-rate assassin out of the lab, does that make you fifth-rate?
Huh.
And Sakamoto's just scratching his chin. Well, the side of his chin.
Are you immortal?
Good question. I really don't know what it would take to kill me. And then we have a memory. Listen up. The pursuit of exalted justice requires necessary evils. Do you understand? In other words, there are people in this world who need to die. But the law forbids killing. In school they said all lives are equally sacred. Everyone always despised me. And mind you, this is the same weapons dude. This is the memory of him talking to X, whose face is still obscured. And then X draws an X. X draws an X over this dude's mouth. Hush. You're with me, aren't you? I accept you completely. And Reindeer Dude starts blushing after he had that moment happen to him. He validated everything about me. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. And then a train comes careening into the same area because they're fighting in a freeway, a train freeway, like an underground subway for this entire lab. One comes careening in, and they both jump out of the way. And the dude uses his other arm to grapple on Sakamoto and drag him onto the tracks along with him to try and, just drag him at high speeds.
You're just another hypocrite who can't do anything you can't do anything yourself.
And he looks and sees that Sakamoto has apparently uprooted an entire railroad track. Like a whole wooden track. You know, the ones that are supposed to be embedded in the ground with heavy-duty nails? He has ripped one out of the ground, and even though his arms are bound up by these cables, he's surfing across the railway.
He's riding a railroad tie like a surfboard. What a fun guy. But how long can he last?
And then it cuts to Sakamoto, who cuts the cables apart with the advertisement coupon. Y'all didn't hear me. He cut these what seem to be heavy-duty cables apart with a store newsletter with a coupon. This dude is ridiculous. He cut the cables apart with a coupon.
Huh?
You sure talk a lot. As Sakamoto takes control of the situation and then proceeds to not only take hold of the cables, but also slam the guy into the wall while they're moving. And then it cuts to a railway. The next stop is Okutabe. The doors will open on the right-hand side. Every day it's the same boring routine. I wish something interesting would happen. And as this dude as this regular subway driver, this regular subway conductor in a regular subway starts seeing a big crack start to appear in the wall that he's rolling past. And out of this hole comes Sakamoto and the weapon dude as they go directly in the path of an oncoming subway train. And they go straight through the subway car. They go straight through the glass and into a crowd of people.
What the?
And then dude lands on the ground with his leg messed up, and apparently every part of his limbs are attached by cables because it shows his right arm, the one that has like the gun and grapple, that one's in pieces but also attached with cables. His right leg is also attached by cables as he skids to a stop, and the other half of him is, still together, but his whole body is still, getting reattached, like locking back into place. This dude is weird. Frankly, everyone in this series is weird, so that he might as well be normal in comparison.
A subway? So we're connected to the subway line.
Are you okay?
He's falling apart!
This woman says as she sees his arm locking back into place like one of those dolls where you press the bottom of it. One of those toys where you press the bottom of it and the thing falls apart and then you let it go, they snap back into place. I still don't know what those things are called.
Pardon me.
As he takes a water bottle with his claw arm and starts drinking the water. And even though he starts drinking the water, a hole in the middle of his chest causes all that water to just spill out anyway. So he's got a hole in his stomach that won't allow him to keep the water. But he's trying to drink it. He must be really thirsty.
Sakamoto is great. No wonder the master admires him. He cleverly uses his surroundings and whatever's on hand when he fights.
It's like Jackie Chan.
His very presence is like a powerful weapon. He's truly the ultimate assassin. Now, where's he hiding?
And as he says this, Sakamoto, in his slim-built state, is just sitting right next to him. And the dude doesn't even know. That's a cold way to say, like, I've been here, I've been behind you the whole time. That's a cold way to do that. And Sakamoto just embeds his foot in this dude's face and breaks the opposite subway car window. Oh. And the dude tries to think of like, he's fast, but he can't even do anything because Sakamoto's just bodying him. If you're immortal, then I don't have to worry about killing you. And that's the end of chapter 29. Ooh. Oh, okay. That's his name, Kashima. Kashima. I'm sorry, I kept forgetting his name. But his name is Kashima. But that's the end of chapter 29 onwards to chapter 30. And we're getting a flashback of Kashima. How could you do such a horrible thing? Why do people reject me?
Just because they were picking on a stray cat?
I'm eliminating bad people. What's wrong with that? Oh, so Kashima, at age 17, already had a knack for killing people. Because he killed some people that were messing with like a stray cat.
He's scary.
Someone report this! Quick! He went too far. I'm always doing the right thing, but nobody understands me. You're such a good person. There aren't many people out there who are willing to sully their own hands to do good. Shall we battle evil together? Oh, Lord, where have I heard someone walk up to a person that's being misunderstood by the world and say, like, allow me to offer you a hand, Tomura. I'm sorry, wrong series. This is just like that, except it's set in the assassin world. Days 30. Quiet on the train. Hey, the name of the volume. In the name of sublime justice. This is Nippori. And it shows Sakamoto, who, I guess, it shows Sakamoto as an old lady gets on the train. This is Nippori. Yeah, an old lady gets on the train and Sakamoto notices. In the name of sublime justice, I want to help realize the master's dreams. That means eliminating anyone who stands in the way. And then Sakamoto goes, this is priority seating. Move aside. As he grabs the dude, he's in front of him in an instant, already has his hand on his shoulder, and then forcibly shoves him across the subway car with enough force to almost break the door that leads to another car. As the old lady proceeds to sit in the same chair that Sakamoto kicked him into earlier. This is priority seating. Move aside. The dude's all like, you're sitting in this old lady's chair. Move.
Oh, goodness, thank you.
And then Sakamoto starts to walk over to him, cracking his knuckles once again. Ugh, I don't believe it. I can't keep up with him. And then it shows Sakamoto has basically, okay, so there's a whole space in between the subway cars. Like a little area there. Sometimes subway cars don't have that and it's just open space. Sakamoto and Kashima are in this space and Kashima isn't leaving. He's just standing there kind of looking terrified of Sakamoto, and Sakamoto just walks up to him and slowly closes the door behind him. And Kashima's just looking, and then Sakamoto's just like pushes up his glasses. And the next panel it shows Sakamoto barbecuing them ribs. There is no way. This is, if this ever gets animated with the upcoming Sakamoto Days anime, if this ever gets animated, I can't wait to see it. And then we just have the conductor overhead as Sakamoto is just beating Kashima down in this small room. The next stop is Okutabi. The doors will open on the right-hand side. The next stop is Okutabi. The doors will open on the right-hand side. And then it shows Sakamoto pretty much beating Kashima straight into the next subway car. Ah! Startling someone who's reading a newspaper. What is this? He's stronger than steel. But my body's been scientifically enhanced, and he's just an ordinary human. And then we actually see Then we actually see him actually fire the gun that is on his right arm. Ugh. And he fires at Sakamoto, with Sakamoto spinning something to keep from getting hit. And he actually took one of the railings that has like the hand grips that people hold on to on subways. He's actually taken that and has shielded himself by spinning it in front of him. I didn't even see him take the thing off the rack. He just has it. And then Sakamoto, taking that same pole, continues to beat down Kashima. And as Kashima's being beaten back more and more and more, he grits his teeth and his eyes roll up into his head just a little bit. And another gun appears and bursts out of his chest cavity. And Sakamoto is kind of surprised to see this as a light envelops him. There's an explosion in the subway car. And Kashima goes, "It's over. I finally defeated that demon." And it shows Sakamoto, who is in the path of an opposite subway car, going in the other direction, and without skipping a beat, starts running through the subway car at the same speed as the other subway, with enough speed to leave like a dust trail behind him, no one being able to see who he is. And he jumps out of the back of that subway to get back on the other subway he was just fighting Kashima in. This man is just as fast as the subway. He crashed into it, righted himself, took off running, went through every single one of the subway cars, jumped out the back, and still made it back on the same subway he was fighting in. The man is ridiculous. The man is ridiculous. The master will praise me for this. Right. Before I see him, I'd better get cleaned up. And as he's saying this out loud, as soon as he finishes this sentence, Sakamoto opens up the door like, "Hi, how are you? Did you miss me?" And then Kashima starts sweating bullets. Get away from me! As he starts picking up elderly people who are on the chair and starts flinging them at Sakamoto. And Sakamoto just casually catches them and sets them down on opposite chairs. "Why won't you die? You're just a stupid sheep with no dreams, no ideals!" He drags out the word ideals there. "What the world needs is people like us. Why does nobody understand?" I don't really know what you're talking about, but I wouldn't want a guy like you around my family. And he hits Kashima. I'm sorry. He hits Kashima so hard, he goes straight through the subway car while they're still moving, sending him flying into like a lobby, and he goes right after him, knees him in the face, sending him flying even further, and he lands at a gate. Sakamoto scans his card, opens it up, and Kashima's down. Then there's someone ringing, then he's calling someone.
Mr. Sakamoto!
Oh, this must be Shin.
Are you okay?
I took care of the boss.
You did? Thanks!
And that's the end of the chapter. Sakamoto beat this dude down, and he didn't really break a sweat. He's walking away with no marks on him. His shirt may be a little bit dirty, but he's just walking away, dragging Kashima right behind him, while everyone is looking kind of awestruck over the whole situation. This man is a monster. Sakamoto is a monster. And that's the end of the chapter. That's the end of chapter 30. Chapter 30 onwards to chapter 31. And I think we're going all the way to 34. So I'm getting closer to being done. I think I'm actually making some good time. I think I'm making some really good time. And now we're on basement floor 2, and it cuts because remember the building is also supposed to be exploding as well. Days 31. See? SEE exclamation point. Question mark. See? Basement 2. And it cuts to rubble falling, and Lou comes in and she kicks the rubble, keeping it from hitting some innocent people that are inside this building.
What's going on? The building's falling apart.
And then we have Asakura.
This doesn't seem like a natural disaster.
I don't want to die! Because remember, Tanaka's still there somehow. He's like the buggy of the group.
We've got to find an exit.
And a big piece of rubble starts to fall down towards Lou, with Shin coming in and grabbing her and saving her.
Shin!
Hey, can you stand, Lou?
Phew, so glad we made it in time, yo! And then both Lou and Shin just get away from each other because they haven't apologized and they're still fighting. Huh? What's up? What's up, you two?
We've got to hurry to the exit.
Huh? Oh, shit! I'm so sorry about what I said. It's all my fault.
And Lou starts crying.
I should never have taken your apron.
You're getting snot all over me.
Because, she's just bawling her whole face out.
I let that go. I said some stuff I shouldn't have too. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I don't know what this is all about, but what a relief, right, Peacegate?
Shin. Mister?
Hey.
Right. It's been a while.
As Shin reunites with Asakura after all this time.
Aren't you gonna apologize, mister?
Yeah. I don't know where to start.
And it's Sakamoto. Shin, as soon as you find Lou, get out of there. In about 15 minutes, the lab's gonna collapse.
The lab will collapse in 15 minutes? For real?
And then Heisuke. Yo, what about the people still in here?
Mister, you got a blueprint of the lab?
Huh? Yes. It's basically like this.
We don't have time for this.
And then Shin is just thinking, and he's listening to all the thoughts of the people in the building. What is this? Help!
I'm scared. Somebody!
I can't breathe. Help! Anyone there?
Lou, Heisuke, I can still hear voices on this floor. Let's split into teams and find them.
Sure.
We'll meet up later.
You come with me to the lower level, mister.
Okay. Shin, you've really learned to use your powers effectively.
Do you see now? Your research is surprisingly useful.
And mind you, Asakura still remembers when people said that his research was like ridiculous and pointless and he should probably give up and do something else. And he's all like, Shin, yes, you're right. Because as he sees Shin running away in the opposite direction, he sees little Shin that we've seen from the flashbacks. And he's just like, yes, you're right. Lower basement floor, classified information vault. And we have Osaragi, who's in there with Shishiba, and a big piece of rubble falls down towards her, and with her barely moving, slashes that circular saw in the direction of the rubble and completely destroys it. These Order members are busted. Just the casual way you're all like, okay, big piece of rubble. Boom! And it's gone.
We're still not done, Shishiba? I'm tired of slicing up rubble.
Well, I'm relying on you, Osaragi. Oh, bingo. That reindeer sure is something.
What?
They claim to be acting independently for this lab stuff, but he was the one pulling the strings. X, aka Slur. I finally got you by the tail. So we have a name for X. Slur.
Slur, enemy of the JAA. He's tough.
And she starts tugging on, and she's holding on. What is she holding on to? Is she still? I think she's still holding on to her circular saw. Yeah, I think she's still holding on to her circular saw. And And then it appears that Shishiba destroys the computer? Yeah, with his hammer.
Enemy of the JAA. He's tough.
That doesn't matter. Not once they've messed with the order. They're all dead meat now. And that's Shishiba and Osaragi. Then we cut back to Asakura and Shin.
Shin, how many people are on this floor?
I can hear 2 voices. I think they're stranded up ahead.
There, that's one of...
And then all of a sudden, Shin is just... Okay, first, this panel of this person sitting down, it is drawn so well. Lots of shading. It doesn't even look like a manga panel anymore. It looks like concept art of what a manga panel is going to look like. Heavy shading, heavy art, heavy shadows, and all sorts of different things. Shading and shadows are kind of the same thing, but it's just this one lone individual just sitting here in the middle of the room, in the middle of the hallway.
That looks like X. X is in the building.
Because Shin is overtaken by this overwhelming presence and he stops, along with Asakura. And then it looks like both he and Shin get slashed across the body before they can even think. And then they're all like, oh, what? Because they're fine. But they were just overwhelmed by this. They were just overwhelmed by this presence that was in front of them.
Huh? Whoa, what bloodthirst. This guy's a nutter.
So, you're Shin.
X is behind them. He's already behind them.
Give my best to Sakamoto.
Huh?
And he spins around and there's no one there. There's no one there. There's no one there.
He's gone? Shin, come on, hurry.
Okutabi Museum Hall B.
We're outside. They let us go.
Thank goodness we're alive. And then we have Sakamoto there.
Oh, boss, Shin's here.
Lou, Mr. Sakamoto.
What's the matter? You look super pale.
Oh, it's nothing.
Shin, you okay? You aren't injured, are you? Chief, you're all right?
I'm fine. How are all of you? I mean, the lab's falling apart.
Don't worry about us.
I have all of our research data saved up here. I see.
And then Shin can only see their thoughts and hear their thoughts as they're going like, thank you for saving us.
You've really gotten big.
Thank you.
He's not much taller. Tch, I can hear all of you, you know. What a racket.
Then Asakura.
So, you're the group from Sakamoto's. Well, I'm glad Shin seems so happy. Please look out for him for me.
You got it, mister. Boo!
Yeah! And then Sakamoto's just standing there smiling. Is this the first time we see Sakamoto kind of genuinely smiling in the present day? Outside of flashbacks? It's nice to see Sakamoto smile. And now we're back at Sakamoto's.
Oh, goodness, what happened? You're a mess, all of you.
Well, we had quite a day at the museum.
Lou is asleep. Hannah's going,
Papa, guess what? On Parents' Day at school?
Put your laundry in the hamper, okay?
and this is Aoi. And then Heisuke.
You finally get to tell him, Hannah. Lou, if you're gonna sleep, I'll take your fried shrimp.
Huh? I was saving that.
Oh, come on, just one shrimp?
Fine, then I'll have this then.
Hey, that was my Konnyaku Chikuwa jelly.
Konnyaku Chikawa jelly.
Hey, that was my Konnyaku Chikuwa jelly.
And then it cuts to Pisuke, who's just eating him some food.
Now we're even.
Those weren't equal in value at all.
Well, you started it.
And it shows Sakamoto smashing the heads of Lou and Shin together with enough force to cause them to bleed. Is what he was thinking.
Why'd you imagine killing us?
'Cause you never learn.
Huh?
Only I can hear you.
Oh, right. He did that expecting both Lou to see the same image, but it's just Shin. And that's the end of chapter 31. Onward to chapter 32. I'm scared of X. I'm scared of how he caused Shin to go completely on the fritz and disrupt him being able to read minds for that one moment just by his presence. It's like when All for One showed up for the very first time, and Midoriya, Momo, Kirishima, Ida, and Todoroki and Shoto were all beset by this overwhelming aura of like they're about to die. That's the same vibe I get from X, aka Slur. But that's the end of chapter 31. Onwards to chapter 32. I am loving this volume so far. Man, we still got so much more Sakamoto days to read in the upcoming weeks. So, yeah, I'm liking this. But back at Sakamoto's.
Whew. That mission at the lab really took a lot out of me.
Even the pork buns feel heavy.
My body feels heavy.
Huh? I know where we should go.
Huh?
Days 32. Bathhouse mode. An electric fan, the scent of watermelon, blowing snot bubbles, a breath of relief. Sakamoto days. Super Sento public bath. Ikoi no Yu.
Public bath? Mr. Sakamoto, this is too risky. Honestly, I'm so exhausted that my powers are kinda...
You don't get it. In order to maintain peak performance, taking breaks is essential. It's essential. That's the reason why I gotta take breaks whenever I do this. I gotta have days where I'm like, yeah, I just need a day to just relax and breathe before I hit it with more streams and videos. In order to maintain peak performance, taking breaks is essential.
Oh, in other words, this is a top priority mission.
Mission priority. Get proper rest. And I'm saying this to all of you. Y'all get some rest as well. Make sure y'all take breaks, rest your brain. Don't try to force things or crunch. Make sure y'all rest. Stay hydrated. Anything that'll keep you in tip-top shape. Do that. Prioritize that. Take it when you can. Mission priority. Get proper rest.
Shin, does your stomach hurt?
Let's go.
This is actually my first time at a public bath.
Wow, that's unusual.
Don't get too excited. Oh, man. It's always slow in weekdays at this hour. 4 adults and 1 child.
Yeah, sure.
And it's this dude with a bandana on his head and dark shades.
This is...
And towels for everyone.
Right. 1 moment, please. Just as I thought. It's him, the legendary assassin Taro Sakamoto.
Come on.
Does he live in this town?
Never would have figured a small fried assassin like me would ever cross paths with a big shot like him. He's the last person I expected to see while helping out at my folks' business.
Yutaro, 24, amateur assassin, son of public bath proprietors. Proprietors. I couldn't even say that, I'm sorry. Son of public bath proprietors.
There's a 1 billion yen bounty on his head.
Is this my big break?
No.
Whoa, this is the best. I feel so refreshed.
Feels good. And it shows Sakamoto, who's cleaning himself so fast that he is literally covering his entire body in suds. And then, while Sakamoto's is shaking his face clean, he goes,
Hey, Mr. Sakamoto, it's a bath with jets. Let's try it. I've never done this kind of thing before.
This bath is outfitted with a lot of booby traps.
I knew they'd come in handy one day.
Sorry, the text is kind of small with the screen size that I have.
I guess you press this button.
Die!
And then all of a sudden, Shin gets launched high in the air from the pool, across the bathhouse.
Ah!
And he goes landing in a different direction.
So that's a jet bath. That's dangerous.
How the heck? That's powerful enough to destroy a semi-truck. How far did that blast Sakamoto?
And while this is going, the jets are still going, and Sakamoto hasn't moved at all. This same gigantic explosion of water that sent Shin flying all across the bathhouse hasn't moved Sakamoto at all.
Feels good.
Wow, Mr. Sakamoto, you take relaxation to new heights.
What? Talk about mass density.
Wanna try the sauna? Sauna? What's that?
The sauna. That fool, it's like he wants to die. Now he's a goner.
And they both go inside the sauna, and they're hit by this massive heat wave. Yeah, they're hit by this massive heat wave. And apparently the dude, Yutaro, said it's so hot that the inside of the sauna, which is all wood, is now combusting from the heat.
What an inferno! So this is a sauna!
You're painting a very horrible picture of what a sauna's like, of what a bathhouse is like for Shin. It is not this intense. Unless you're watching a Final Destination movie.
What an inferno! So this is a sauna.
It's hot enough to cause spontaneous combustion. He'll be incinerated.
Perfect.
That's right!
Sakamoto is completely fine in this inferno, while his hair is literally being set on fire from being in there.
What? How thick is that blubber? Ugh, this is nothing compared to training during our assassin days. No problem, right, Mr. Sakamoto?
And Sakamoto's the only one to walk out of that sauna conscious, because Shin is out.
Whew. Oh, a cold bath.
And both he and Shin jump inside of the cold bath. And, I don't know what it's like to go from a hot spot to a cold spot in rapid succession. Like get out of a hot shower and then jump into a cold bath. I've never done that. I don't know if that's something that people do. But I can only imagine that the body is not going to react very well. Not going to react very well to you going from an incredibly burning hot place into a freezing cold place where the temperature, apparently the water temperature of this cold bath is 1 degree Celsius.
What's with this bath? Is it broken?
It's a bit tepid.
And mind you, one thing I want to point out is that there might be an inspiration for Chopper here from One Piece in this moment, because Yutaro is shown hiding around the corner, but he's hiding the exact same way that Chopper hides. Like, he's supposed to only be peeking around the corner. Like, he's supposed to be peeking around the corner with his head out. But he has part of his head in the corner, and his whole body just standing out from the side. So this dude's the Chopper of Sakamoto days. And then waterfall, water pressure 10 tons. Pretty okay. And while Sakamoto is just enjoying the waterfall that has enough pressure to be 10 tons on a regular human body, Shin is just getting tossed around with Yutaro so incredibly confused as to how Sakamoto is surviving all of this.
Back to the sauna. Perfect. Cold bath. Waterfall. Sauna. Waterfall. Cold bath.
He keeps going back, Sakamoto keeps going back to all of these spots and nothing is happening to him.
Whew.
And they both walk out. They both walk out of the men's side of the bath.
You sure had a long bath.
And this is Aoi along with Flu and Hannah.
Hey, Shin's dead. Let's play ping pong, Daddy.
Gah. So this is Taro Sakamoto, the legendary assassin. I can't even fathom how to kill him. You're good, Lou.
You too, boss. You're amazing, Lou.
As Lou is going up against Sakamoto, and they're both keeping up with each other. I refused to, and then it cuts to a flashback with Yutaro talking to, I guess, his dad.
I refuse to just follow in my folks' footsteps. Instead, I choose meaningless rebellion.
Take over the family business.
No, I want to be an assassin.
You're not strong enough.
Well, it just goes to show, killing Sakamoto is way beyond a loser like me.
And as he sighs, two individuals walk up behind him. Hey, why if it isn't Yutaro? Long time no see, jerk face. Hey, you said you were gonna leave town and make it big, but now you're here, back here, out in your family's public bath?
Well, it's none of your business.
Hey, now, that's no way to talk to guests, jerk. And the bald-headed dude, the two dudes that are standing behind Yutaro, one of them has like a thick, like a small goatee and spiked up hair, and the other one has like a very bald head and super puckered up lips. Like, hey, that's no way to talk to guests, jerk. And Yutaro gets slapped in the face. What a wimp. Once a coward, always a coward. Always knew you'd never amount to anything. You're the perfect guy to run this trashy old bathhouse.
Don't you dare talk about my dad's bathhouse like that.
Just speaking truth.
A dump. This place is a dump.
Hey, And Sakamoto was apparently hearing this, and as he takes a rebounding shot from the ping pong and slaps it in the opposite direction, and it goes straight towards the bald-headed dude and hits him with enough force to make him not only fall over, but crash his head directly into the floor. Not on, into. He craters the dude with just a backhanded swing for a ping pong. This is a ping pong ball. What class? Where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? My glasses are right here. Class, how heavy are ping pong balls? Extremely light. Yes. Last time I checked, ping pong balls are literally just hollow, thin pieces of bouncy plastic. And Sakamoto hit this dude hard enough to not only topple him over, but with enough inertia to slam his head into the ground. Class over. 'Cause physics, what are that? What are physics? What are that? What is that? What's physics in this entire story?
Huh?
What'd you do to Yokun?
I didn't do anything.
And it shows Sakamoto, who has apparently finished eating this ice cream cone that he had, and he takes like the little stump of it, like it was like on this little figurine fixture, and he ate all of it. You're asking for it, loser. And Sakamoto takes it, and between his two fingers, he tosses it towards the guy. And what is Sakamoto? He takes this thing, he takes like the stick from this ice cream and flicks it at the dude's shirt. The force of this not only jams into this dude's shirt, but also drags him off of his feet into a nearby vending machine, and then proceeds to embed into the vending machine glass. And the dude's unconscious too. He's unconscious. And then Sakamoto takes it out of the... What is he? He takes it out of the glass.
You.
Hmm.
You were on to me, weren't you? I mean, you must have known I was trying to kill you. Then why would you?
It was a good bath. Lots of special features. That's all. And Sakamoto just leaves.
That hot spring was nice. Let's come here again.
Gosh, it's been years since anyone paid me a compliment. From a legend, no less.
And Yutaro is calling.
Hey, Dad, I've been thinking. I'd like to take over the family business. The assassin thing? Yeah, I'm done with that. Huh? It's too late now. I've got some nerve. Oh.
And then we're back at Sakamoto's. The next day.
My body feels even heavier. Public baths are intense.
Shin's mission was a failure. And that's the end of chapter 32. Onwards to chapter 33. Oh yeah, that was good. That was a good one. We're almost done with this session, ladies and gentlemen. And it begins with Sakamoto going, "This is a most critical mission." Hold on. I've been crouching down and lowering myself this entire time. I apologize. I need to keep my back straight. Good posture. It helps with the voice. This is a most critical mission.
There can be no mistakes.
We need a seamless plan.
And they're all on laptops. And then we just see like this, what is this, a cruise ship? It looks like a cruise ship. And it's Aoi and Sakamoto.
I love it. I never imagined such a lovely lunch date to celebrate our anniversary.
Well, it's a special day.
We've never done anything like this before.
Mission priority. Wedding anniversary surprise. Days 33. Surprise.
I sure hope the date's going well.
It must be. He was super prepared. Gift and all.
So it just shows Shin and Lou looking after Hannah in the shop.
When Mr. Sakamoto was all like, I have an urgent mission, at first I didn't know what to think.
When it comes to Mrs. Aoi, the boss takes his duties seriously.
Yeah, he's totally hung up on her.
Well then, what do you suppose Mrs. Aoi loves about the boss?
Well, duh. The fact that he's an amazing fighter?
Nah, I think she's into his voluptuous bod.
Uh-oh, the flowers are wilting. First aid. Uh-oh, the flowers are wilting. First aid.
And it cuts to Sakamoto trying to pour some water on the flowers so that they don't wilt at all, because he has like a big giant bouquet of roses behind his back during this dinner.
Gosh, I feel kind of nervous. Oh, goodness.
Thank you for waiting. Here we have a smoked duck that died trembling before a lion on the savannah. That's a very weird way to describe a meal. I don't think I want to eat the food if you describe to me how the animal died. Here we have a grilled salmon that tried to escape, but we beat it over the head with a hammer on a moonlit night. I don't think I want to eat that fish. I'm gonna be real. I'm probably still gonna eat the fish because I went in there hungry. I'm leaving there full, so I probably would still eat it. But what a peculiar way to describe the food you've been given. Here we have a smoked duck that died trembling before a lion on the savannah. Smoky? No bombs?
Look at you getting all antsy without Shin and Lou here.
Speaking of a sitting duck. Speaking of a sitting duck, the legendary assassin is just a harmless tubby in his wife's presence. We wait for the target's moment of weakness. That's how a top-notch assassin operates, little brother. Assassin! Seko Zuru! Note, Seko Zuru means dirty cheater in Japanese. That's just like you, big brother. Cheap and dirty. Everyone on this boat is in on it. Even the passengers will be ruthless and thorough. Wife and all. Like this. And he presses a button in his hands, because mind you, Seko Zuru, he is the chef, and his little brother is the one. His little brother is, along with him, but apparently the entire ship is in on trying to take down Sakamoto? The whole ship? No. What a... Yeah, but Seko presses a button, and Sakamoto goes, actually, Aoi, today?
Huh?
There's something I want to give you. And it shows a chandelier above them falling, and Sakamoto just flips, without boom, without even a single moment, he flips a fork into the air that embeds into... What is Sakamoto? He flips a fork into the air and then has that same fork embeds itself into the roof, keeping the chandelier that was made to fall on them from falling any further, and is just swinging back and forth. This man is crazy busted. Great. An enemy on our date.
Why are you so fidgety?
Next. Well, Aoi. And then Seko goes, next. Well, Aoi, actually, there's something I want to give. Excuse me, your dessert.
Yay!
And then Sakamoto is getting anger lines because he keeps getting interrupted.
Aoi, look at those pelicans outside.
Oh,
Because this waiter that went up to them with dessert that looks like a flan. It looks like a flan. Or, what is that? Flambe? Looks like some flambe. But as she's saying this waiter also has a knife behind his back, and he tries to go after Sakamoto, and he's fighting him one-handed while he's focusing on his wife. You cannot break this man's concentration.
oh, how adorable.
And then Sakamoto takes a knife. Well, actually, it looks like he takes a spoon, and he starts like tying up the dude's hair in the spoon, and then with speed, he sends the dude flying into the distance. Flying into the distance. It was another fork. He takes a fork, spins his hair like spaghetti, and then with that force, he slings him across the room behind them.
And a leaping dolphin.
Really? Where?
And Sakamoto just has the hair on the plate, right where the dessert was supposed to be, with the dude's hair still attached to it. I would not trust that food.
Huh? What's this?
Squid ink pasta.
Oh, what happened to dessert?
And it shows that waiter laying on the floor far off in the distance with half of his scalp missing. He's too tough. And then we have Seko again, who's starting to get a little bit, he's starting to sweat just a little bit. Very well. It's clear that subtle, crafty tricks won't work. We'll all kill him together. Yeah.
Aoi, actually, I have a special present.
And it shows everyone who's in on killing Sakamoto, they just surround the table.
Huh? Did we do something wrong? Is it because I slurped my soup?
No, they're the ones being rude.
And then Seko points a gun at Sakamoto. And next we see in the next panel, we see Sakamoto kicking a dude through the glass as he's holding on to his wife running. And they're screaming, and then the dude gets knocked into the water. And then Seko goes, "They're trying to escape. Idiot, there's nowhere to go." And Sakamoto takes the anchor and then throws it at them, keeping all of them from grabbing onto them. The anchor gets flung at them, and they all get wrapped up by this anchor and stopped in he throws it at them, and then it wraps around them, and then they get stopped. If that's a better way to describe it, my apologies.
Why does this always happen?
Sorry.
Up there! There's nowhere to run! And they're still trying to kill him. Kill him! And then it cuts to Sakamoto, who's just standing there on the bow of the ship. You're cornered, Sakamoto.
Aoi,
Yes?
up you go.
Huh?
And then Sakamoto, with one hand, flings his wife all the way into the air. She's so... Oh... He flings his wife into the air and throws her over a bridge. This isn't like your average bridge, though. This is not like your average bridge. This is like Golden Gate Bridge big. She's going so high, she's going over the big supports. Like, she's going over it. He threw her over a bridge as the ship goes underneath it, and she's screaming the entire time. And then as she starts to descend back on the other side of the bridge, she gets closer and closer to the deck, where Sakamoto has caught her and has beaten up every single one of the people. Every single one of the people that was on the ship trying to kill him. He took them all out, and the dude doesn't have a mark on him. But he catches her just so effortlessly. And then all the other assassins are like, my leg!
You could have warned me first.
I thought I did. Owie, these are for...
And as he tries to give the flowers to his wife, every single flower doesn't have a petal on it, and his glasses shatter in shock.
This? You brought me flowers? Was this supposed to be a surprise?
Why does this happen?
And then she just pats him on the shoulder because he's like upset and he's crying. He's crying because he couldn't give something to his wife.
Thank you. I really appreciate the lunch and the flowers. But you know, I love you without the special gifts. Remember when we first started dating? You cried when I made you a rice omelet.
So yummy and warm.
And it was just a regular rice omelet. Seeing how you enjoyed it made it taste better for me too. When I see ordinary life through your eyes, it's full of surprises. And that's why I really love our ordinary life together. But it isn't really ordinary. I can even soar way up in the sky when I'm with you. I think that makes us a pretty special couple.
If you like, I'll toss you up as many times as you like.
Please don't. That wasn't my point.
And now we're back at Sakamoto's.
Welcome back.
We're home! Tadaima!
Tadaima.
We're home! So, how was the date? The view was extraordinary up there. Really?
You got sauce on your face, Mr. Sakamoto. Sheesh.
And Sakamoto is quiet. Oh, that's not sauce, that's blood.
You got sauce on your face, Mr. Sakamoto. Sheesh.
Oh, hey, Mrs. Owie, what do you love about the boss? Spill it! Huh? Well, I guess I love that he's a fast runner. What? Shin, we need you over here!
Hey, get back here, Mrs. Owie.
And it shows like a little pot where Sakamoto's roses, you know, the ones that don't have a single petal on them, they're just on Sakamoto's desk at the front of the shop. And that's the end of chapter 33. That's so nice. That's a nice, heartwarming chapter. All right, one more chapter to read through, everybody. Chapter 34, and then we are done with this volume. Chapter 34, well, days 34. Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang? And we have Lou with a cat along with Shin Sakamoto.
Aw, kitty! So cute! You guys like cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Animals don't like me. Animals don't like me.
Peasuke, that's not true, yo.
And it shows Peasuke at the bottom of the food chain, which is what Peasuke is thinking. And at the bottom of the food chain, when it comes to people who like cats or dogs, it shows Peasuke at the bottom of the food chain of that pyramid. And Shin hears this thought from Peasuke.
Don't worry, Peasuke. I like birds too. Isn't that great, Peasuke?
Huh? Wait, can Shin read animal thoughts too?
That's a new discovery.
Yeah, it is, because normally when you think of people who have telepathy in stories, you never really think, wait, can they read animal minds too? You don't really see it all that often.
That's a new discovery.
And then we have a plane and someone with a very long braid and, you know, like Chinese clothing on and draped over his shoulders going, "So, this is Japan. I certainly hope our esteemed mistress is all right. I must go to her and bring her back at once."
Hey Shin, check this out! One of these is a regular cola!
And they're eating at a restaurant. Something gift, unless it's a restaurant just called Gift. I guess if the food is really good, it might as well be a gift.
And one is my own special cola blend. No mind reading now.
This one.
And Shin tries to drink one of the colas, and he doesn't know which one is Lou's, and he drinks Lou's special cola blend because I guess it's an intense taste.
You lose. Meal's on you, Shin.
What a stupid bet.
Family restaurants sure are fun. I haven't been to many of this type of place.
But they have them in every country, don't they?
Well, at home, our chefs did the cooking. So, I don't know.
For real? Right, she was the only daughter of a triad family.
And it shows some people walking into the restaurant.
Are you gonna meet up with any of your old friends one of these days?
I like my life here. It's fun and chill. I was never too into the triad thing.
And Sakamoto's only thinking about the snacks he can be eating right now.
I know what you mean. Once you get used to a peaceful life.
Yeah, you can't go back.
Agree.
Well, we should probably get back to our posts.
And as they begin to get up, someone sits behind them, and it's a person with the braid as he goes, Zhao Dao Nili, I found you. And they're right behind Lu and Sakamoto. And then a person points a gun at Shin, and then another points a gun at Sakamoto. Xingxi, please die. And Sakamoto's slurping, but then he slaps the dude. As the dude shoots, and Sakamoto catches the bullet casing. He catches the bullet in between his fork. And then Shin immediately grabs a gun from the other guy pointing it at him and elbows him directly in the face. And then Sakamoto, without an ounce of hesitation, just used the scruff of his fingers to pull the guy directly onto the table in front of him and slam them down.
Ding dong.
Which also happens to have him slam on the button that calls a waitress over.
Your order?
Melon soda.
Coming up.
And the dude that got slammed is just sighing. And then Shin goes,
You're a bit old for melon soda. I think a porker like you would have...
Oh, wait, it's the guy speaking.
You're a bit old for melon soda. I'd think a porker like you would have more refined taste. What? How dare!
And then Lu looks over in shock as Lu goes,
Wait a minute. Wu-Tang? Is that you?
Wu-Tang?
And then the guy gets up. His name is Wu-Tang, apparently.
Long time no see, mistress.
As he flicks some noodles off of his hair. And we get a good look at his face.
Wu-Tang, you're alive!
Who's this? Your brother?
No, just a member of the triad!
Mistress, since losing your father, the Lu family has no leader.
Hey, don't ignore me!
We entreat you to return as our leader, and to detest in keeping company with these vulgar barbaric assassins.
Huh?
No, I don't want to go back. Let someone else be the leader.
And Wu-Tang is just looking at her. And then all of a sudden, blood just shoots out of his nose in a spray that kind of hits Lu. Like his blood just shoots out of his nose and he reels back.
That was so cute.
Master Wu-Tang.
Don't cry, hold still.
Watch with this guy, freak. As Shin is wiping the blood off of Lu, like in her hair, on her face.
I don't know why, but for some reason Wu-Tang's always followed me around in a weird way. Like some freaky, perverted, meddling
What is that? Consigliere?
Consigliere!
I think there's a proper way to pronounce that, and I'm probably doing it wrong. Please forgive me. I'm pressing on. An advisor to a crime boss. So that's what a consigliere is.
She noticed me since way back then? He's nuts!
Anyway, I'm done with the triad. Now I'm just a regular employee at Sakamoto's.
I see. In other words, if I am to retrieve our mistress, you are the obstacle. Taro Sakamoto, the legendary assassin. Look, I don't know what this is all about, but if we have to fight this guy, I'm in.
Ha! I'm not dumb enough to fight an assassin unarmed. as it shows Wu-Tang is all the way at the entrance of the restaurant.
That's way far.
Refreshing, really. I propose a triad-style battle with the mistress as the prize.
No way. Let's just cut to the chase and tear this guy a new one.
Let's get this over with. Don't worry, this is a good opportunity for you. If you win the battle, I will provide you with information about the person who put the bounty on your head.
Huh? How do you know?
Don't underestimate in the Triad's intelligence network.
Mr. Sakamoto.
Forget it. You can't have Lou. We'll find our
We'll find our own information.
And Wu-Tang is all like, "What? Seriously? You don't want to find out?" And then Lou speaks for the both of them and goes,
We're in.
Lou, if we lose, you have to go back to China.
I know that. But I'm with Sakamoto's now. I can put my own skin on the line for the boss.
"Then come with me. Skin on the line. What an erotic image." And I'm pretty sure that Shin is hearing this thought too. Then we get to what looks to be like this old abandoned storage house.
What's this place? You want to do indoor sports?
I'm good at badminton.
Hey, you bums. Where we're going, you'll look out of place in your shabby clothes. I've prepared garments for you. Change here. And there's literal changing booths for both Sakamoto, Shin, and Lou, but Lou is the only one that gets like a pristine, perfect-looking one, while Sakamoto and Shin get one that's held up by 2x4s with shoddy covering and is just left out in the open, and their clothes are just in an open cardboard box. This Wu-Tang dude is rude. Just my size. This way.
What?
This is where various members of the underworld rub shoulders. A place of wealth and desire. An underground casino.
Oh, a casino?
The contest is simple. Whoever wins the most money within the allotted time wins. I see.
So there's no physical strength involved.
Gambling.
Don't worry, Lou. We have Shin's mind-reading powers.
Right. If he reads the dealers and other players' minds, we can't lose.
But I don't really know the rules of the games.
Me neither.
Huh? Oh no. Wu-Tang may not be much of a fighter, but he's pretty sharp. Though the Liu family often resorted to physical force, he made it to the upper echelon with just his brains. He's an anomaly of anomalies.
And then someone screams out in the distance, "Whoa! Whoa, this Chinese guy went all in 3 times in a row. He's up by 3 million yen.
3 million yen already?
I'm determined to win back the mistress. I'll do whatever it takes." And then Sakamoto, getting prepared to get involved in another incident, cracks his shoulder. And that's the end of chapter 34. So now we're about to have a whole incident. Also, Psycho, good to see you. Snow, I hope they use Wu-Tang beat when they use a Wu-Tang beat when they animate his character. Maybe. But now we're going to go from, we've seen for the past several chapters, I want to say for the past 33 chapters. Yeah, 33 chapters. We've seen Sakamoto use physical force to beat all of his opponents. Now, with a little help from Shin, with, a little mind reading, but now we're about to be in a situation where where his physical force is not going to be much of use because you're fighting a person who's 110% using all of his brain in order to try and win back Lou so that she can go back to China and run the Lou family triad, which of course she doesn't want to do because she likes being with the Sakamotos. So that's going to be an interesting volume to read next week. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to give my thoughts on the volume. I loved it. The whole ordeal with the entire underground was resolved very quickly. We got to see a little bit of strength of Shishiba and Osaragi from the Order, and they are impossibly strong. We got to see X aka Slur, for the first time, and his entrance just reminds me of All for One's entrance. So I already know I am in for some stuff with this guy once I get into the deeper chapters pressing forward. The read-through continues, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to the next one where we read Volume 5, so I hope to see you all there. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. If I got anyone new here, all I can really say to you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all. Well, new and regulars as well. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. We are literally 10 people away from this channel reaching 5,000 subscribers. And I just want to say thank you for helping me get there and beyond. So have a fantastic day. And once again, wait, did I say that right? Because I'm always because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. Oh yeah, yes, yeah. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.